Yo, what's up, man? Just wanted to highlight everybody, man. Hope everybody had a good football weekend. I thought it was a great football weekend at first until the games didn't really come through like I wanted them to. But, it is what it is. Just hope everybody having a good day, and glad everyone was able to tune in and listen to the show. Right now, I like to say thank you for everybody for joining. And my boy Hugh, definitely got to show love to you. Appreciate everything you do for us, man. And definitely been seeing some of the sketches, and I've been seeing some of the work you've been doing, man. And it's been beautiful, man. It really makes me happy to see that online and make us look really professional, man. And I appreciate that, man. And we take it to the next level each and every year, man. And I know 2017 will definitely be our year. I wanted to definitely start off with some of the games that happened, over the weekend, the Saturday games. I felt like some of them were, at first going to be up to my expectations, but a lot of them were lackluster, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you and tell you the truth. A little disappointed in my Lions, man. At first, I thought that game with them and the Seahawks with Earl Thomas being out, and I kind of talked to my boy Jay about that, and I even talked to Q about it. I said, well, it was going to be an actual decent game. I feel like with Earl Thomas not being there, that it was really going to be something for us to look forward to. But it didn't matter who was out there, man. It seemed like we made stupid mistakes, penalty after penalty. It's like the yellow flags was going out, man. It was like that was a celebration or something, because I just really didn't feel like we were disciplined when it comes to time to play the game. I think we more or less crawled in the corner and we panicked. Seattle is a decent team, but I thought that they were like vulnerable and we could definitely take advantage of them. Disappointed with the result. I feel like the 2 field goals was not nothing that I was looking forward to. At first, Alexander looked good. Then he, kind of fell off. I really felt like Marvin Jones didn't really do a good job. I didn't think he performed up to his standards, definitely to the contract they signed him to. A person who's usually reliable, and I call Mr. Claw, because his hands and how strong he is, was really disappointed in Anquan Bolden, too. I thought that he'd do better, but just altogether, I think their performance was really poor, and they let me down. And, hey, that's just the way it is. But the game that really was really bad to me that I seen, too, was I have to definitely say that Raiders game. I really was disappointed in that game because not only did they lose Derek Carr, who I thought is an exceptional quarterback, I didn't really feel like they even brought no intensity or, it was basically to the point where they could prove that they were a good team offensively and defensively. But when McCoy got hurt, too, I said, oh, man, this definitely is bad news for the Raiders, and I didn't think that they were going to really do that well. But just to not show up like they did, I was disappointed. And the defense didn't look good, man. They really made Brock Osweiler look like an all-star. So that kind of got me as well. But all in all, the Saturday games I thought could have been better. Was definitely disappointed in their performances. But when it came to Sunday, I thought that they were going to actually, give me a little bit more, but they didn't. It wasn't really nothing going on this whole weekend. I felt like the games just basically didn't go up to my expectations, definitely being the playoffs. Definitely disappointed in those games as well. But at the end of the day, it was 2 teams that I felt like I thought would do better than what they did. Not on the Green Bay end, because I thought the Green Bay game, it was definitely something that scared me because a lot of people thought that Aaron Rodgers was the MVP. I definitely think he's the MVP now because I don't really feel like nobody can outperform him right now. We got next week, but with the 362 yards, 4 touchdowns that he displayed, I'm afraid, man, definitely for the NFC. Not really a huge fan of the Giants. I didn't really too much like my man Victor Cruz talking all that trash. I'm a huge Patriots fan, and I love my Lions. You know, I'm going to definitely represent Detroit. But just felt like you shouldn't have been focusing on talking smack about a New England team that you definitely won't face. And I'm not trying to jinx New England because I feel like they still got, you know, some business to take care of regardless. Just didn't really feel like with that game that the Giants showed what I thought they were going to do. Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe last week me and Jay Lou had them winning the game. We thought that they were definitely going to do good, but this was really disappointed. I was really pissed off in that game. I'm a vent on it right now because I feel like Olivier Vernon, and I definitely feel like when they got Janoris Jenkins, was really going to solidify that defense. They paid a lot of money for that defense, and the offense was already awesome. Just didn't think that when they came, they didn't come to play. And a lot of people blaming on them, chilling in Miami, doing the boat ride and taking those pictures. A lot of people didn't really think they were focused, and it definitely looked that way. But when it came to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami game, I just didn't really think Matt Moore was really ready for what he got as well. And I was just really surprised at how good the Dolphins played this year. Definitely when the quarterback got hurt, Ryan Tannehill, Jay Ajayi, he really stepped his game up. He really, you know, showed what type of football player he was because I didn't think he was going to do that well this year. But to have those 3 200-yard games, I thought that he was definitely that guy, and he really was the person who the team carried the weight on their back. Well, now I look at it now and say, well, none of those guys really showed up. Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. And the 3 Bs was the reason why they won. You got Antonio Brown. Big Ben did his thing. And, you know, I was really surprised in Le'Veon Bell's performance. But, man, he's been making history this year. And I believe that's going to be one of the teams that New England's going to run into. And I think that that'll be a pretty good challenge for them. Right now they still have to take care of the Texans, but then they have to go against 2 teams that I'm kind of afraid of in this time of year, and definitely that's Big Ben when he's at his best. And then I'm looking towards to seeing what Kansas City's going to do because everybody's looking at me and saying Kansas City's going to win it all, but I really don't see it, you know. Them going to the Super Bowl is a joke to me right now, but that defense is hell of a. I definitely think that their perimeter and looking at their front seven is probably one of the best I've ever seen in football. But then you got Eric Berry. Not only did you got Eric Berry, that's a force, one of the best guys at his position, but Marcus Peters, man, I was hurt. I really would like for him to drop in the draft. I wish he would have did something crazy like spit on somebody, you know, throw a rock at a cop or do anything. Because if he dropped, I think that if the Lions could have got him, that would have been our meal ticket. I just don't really think that they draft well, neither. And I've been really disappointed in that as well, but I just want to get more off into the football. All the matchups are made now, and this is going to be a pretty good weekend. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these matchups right now. The game that I want to see the most is the Pittsburgh and the Kansas City game. I think that's really going to be a really good matchup. I believe it's going to be offense against defense. Most times people say defense wins championships, but the Pittsburgh Steelers defense really seems like they step up every time it gets to these cold months and it gets to the playoffs. I like them. I like Big Ben. I like Le'Veon Bell. And, you know, I feel like that they can do it. But at the same time, though, Antonio Brown's going to really have to step up. It's going to be hard for him, knowing that he has to go up against Marcus Peters. I don't think Marcus Peters is going to have it. Eric Berry's back there, too, so it's not going to be too much passing in that game, I believe. Ben does exceptionally well when he was at home. Don't know what he's going to do on the road yet. So I'm like, hey, you know, I'll basically look at that and I'll see what it's worth. On the other hand, Tyreek Hill is one of my favorite players, you know, as definitely a rookie and playing and doing what he's been doing. I feel like Kansas City, what they really need to do, because their run game with Ware is okay, and I like their team. I like their nucleus all together. I just really feel like they're a disciplined team, and more or less when it comes to anybody on that team, they're going to do as good as Alex Smith would do. Right now, I feel like the NFL playoffs is really where it's at right now, and I'm going to definitely keep my focus on that. But then going to the NFC, the Falcons and the Seahawks. I believe that the Atlanta Falcons can definitely hurt Seattle right now. I feel like if we had a big-time receiver like Julio Jones, we would have torched the Seahawks. Didn't feel like they did well. A little disappointed in that because Earl Thomas usually is that guy who solidifies their team. He's their anchor. And when he got hurt, I just felt like they gave up at the time. I felt like we could have snuck one in on them. But I don't think they're going to be able to handle Julio Jones. It's going to be too much of Julio. And when you got Devontae Freeman, too, and I just feel like right now, I felt like that Matty Ice was really my MVP this year because a lot of people criticized on him. And when they weren't doing that good and they were kind of shaky in the year, people, talked behind their back and was dissing Atlanta. Don't get me wrong. I was one of them that said, it just seems like Matty Ice don't come through in the big games. I really think he's going to come through. I think he's going to have a solid game. And I really think at least he's going to have 300 passing yards, and I'm going to give him 3 touchdowns. Because I think that Julio Jones is a beast. Don't really think nobody's going to be out there to stop that man. And that's the problem right now. That as long as he is in the picture, as long as he have Julio to pass it to, they're going to put up 30. I say they're definitely going to put up 30. It's just to see what Seattle can do. If Doug Baldwin can click, I don't really know too much about Rawls. I was a little pissed off what he did to the Lions, but we ain't going to get on that. I feel like they can make it an exciting game with Russell Wilson and Doug Baldwin and see what they can do, but I don't really think they have enough firepower because when they say defense of Seattle, I think they're going to get exposed by Julio Jones, and just don't really think that they will have an answer for him. I feel like that's going to be one of the best matchups to me, too, because I feel like Atlanta got something to prove. I don't really think that they have ever got to the point where they went to a conference championship and succeeded. So I think this time they'll be in there. It's going to be hard. I don't know who will go when it comes to, like, that conference championship. I'm not going to even guess it right now. My whole focus is to see what they're going to do, and I want to really get into that New England game right now as well. I don't know. It might be a revenge factor because they played this year, and me and James, we joked about it, and I was like, man, they beat these guys with a third-string quarterback. Not only did they beat them, they embarrassed the Texans. And if I'm not mistaken, J.J. Watt was healthy at the time. They didn't have an answer. I believe Bill O'Brien's going to come back with a better game plan. That defense is clicking. I've heard, like, a lot of people talk crap online and saying they think that New England will be one and done. Don't see it. But at the same time, man, you got Merciless playing at his game. Big Vince going to want a piece of New England because he would love to dethrone New England in New England and let them know that was a big mistake letting him walk. And I just feel like, Brian Cushing's been playing really well. Their cornerback play, it's okay. I really don't think that they'll be able to maintain Tom Brady. The best thing they can do is have Merciless and Clowney. If they can hit them edges and keep pressure on Tom, that'll get him rattled. I don't really see that neither because right now with them, what makes them so dangerous this year, and I'm not saying because I'm a huge fan, the run game. Garrett Blunt's playing lights out, probably the best I've ever seen him play. And, with the 18 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards rushing, that's incredible for him. And this is his 8th season. So him doing that right now, it seems like he's only getting better. He's not on that wrong side of 30 yet, but I definitely been liking his gameplay. So that's going to help Tom, and that's his security blanket this year. That's why I believe that they've been playing so smooth this year, because not only is Garrett Blunt playing well, now you have Tom being more comfortable with the run game. Julian Edelman and those young guys, those little munchkins, hit them seam routes through the whole playoffs, and I feel like them doing that is going to bring a little problems to them because they can outrun the linebackers and all. Boy, when it comes to the score, I don't believe, and I've heard on the internet people saying that they think they're going to be a 15.5-point favorite. I don't see that. I believe if they win, they may win by like at least 10. But I know Texans basically didn't forget that whooping they got. It was like 27-7. No, they blanked them. I'm sorry. I apologize. It was 27-0. Those guys didn't even get on the scoreboard. And Brock Osweiler is back. He's going to want revenge because they made a fool out of him. So I definitely think that's going to be another thing that happened. They're going to get at him. But I just really feel like right now the playoffs is a really good atmosphere. But I don't want to really get too tired off in the NFL. But I know the playoff games are going to be really exciting this year. I feel like this is the best season right now for the playoffs and the rankings because all the best teams is in the playoffs right now that I feel like. But I want to definitely kind of run down to the college game today. I like the Clemson-Alabama matchup. It's a rematch. And the rematch is going to be amazing because I feel like this year Clemson is going to come out on top. I'm a huge Bama fan. It sucks to say that. I don't even know what I'm thinking right now. Would I be happy if Clemson win? Or would I be a little disappointed because, my Bama finally going to get dethroned? But just don't feel like right now that Jalen Hurts got what it takes to be that guy. I feel like he gets rattled. That Washington game I thought would be a little bit more of a cakewalk for Alabama. And at the end of the game, one game really saved them because I just didn't really feel like Jalen Hurts had what it takes. And when it comes to defenses, I feel like Clemson matched pound for pound with Bama, but they got the speed as well. So that's going to be a really dangerous matchup for them. And it definitely depends on what Jalen Hurts do right now because if he don't perform well, they're not going to go anywhere. I definitely like to see that matchup, but at the same time, I feel like this year alone that Clemson will have I feel like they're the 7-point favorite. Bama's going to need to score too many defensive touchdowns. Do I think they'll be able to do it? Not really, but Clemson is a handful. So I definitely want to know everybody's opinion on that, who they feel like will be the victors. Definitely can't wait till that one to kick off. And I've been seeing a lot of the basketball news and everything that was going on as of late. Right now, I feel like when it comes to the basketball, and I wanted to talk about this because I do admire Golden State. I'm a huge KD fan. I didn't like the way he sold out. I feel like everybody Hugh, he didn't sell out. LeBron did it, and you ain't say nothing. Well, yes, I did. I definitely wasn't too happy with him making a super team. And I'm really not happy with Durant after a team goes 73-9, joins them. If you can't beat them, join them type thing. And I just was really disgusted when I seen the game with Memphis because I looked at the game, and when I seen it in, I think the third quarter, when it was the beginning of the third quarter, just didn't really feel like the game was interesting. I'm like, man, they're blowing teams out. I just don't feel like Memphis is a good enough team offensively to score with them. And it's a joke. I'm not going to sit up here and watch this game because Golden State is taking the fun out of basketball right now, the way they were just demolishing teams. And then I look up, and then I see Clemson. No, I'm sorry about that. I see Memphis. Memphis was up by 2 or 3 points. in overtime. And I said, overtime? What the hell? What is going on? They're in overtime after they had a 24-point lead. And they end up winning the game. If I'm not mistaken, they won by like 8 points or whatnot. And I was a little disappointed because not only I don't think Memphis is a high-caliber team that can go toe-to-toe with Golden State. I felt like Golden State gave up, man. When they get to the point where they're nervous, they shoot too many damn threes. I didn't like them shooting the three balls. If you're down by a point, have some balls, take it in. Go to the rim, go for layups. If you hit that perimeter and you go up and you hit the lane and you do a layup, or if you go in and try to challenge players and you dunk the ball, I mean, come on now, KD, you 7 feet, man. I feel like they wasn't aggressive enough. You got Zaza Pachulia, who I feel like supposed to be banging the boards and supposed to be your center, your assassin. You got Bleacherz. I mean, how many damn people you got on that roster right now who can go in and really try to play in the post? Didn't feel like they did enough of that. They don't really need to shoot too many threes. The perimeter game is awesome, but I just feel like when they lost Harrison Barnes, they lost a lot. And a lot of people don't appreciate that. They probably like, well, what are you talking about? Harrison Barnes was a good perimeter player. He'll take it to the hole. He shot threes every now and then, but I think he was a security blanket because you have Clay shooting threes. You have Seth shooting threes. You even have Draymond Green shooting threes nowadays. I just feel like they lost that because they lost their confidence when it comes to beating the team head on. If you can't rain threes or if Clay's not on or if Seth's not on, I don't feel like that they'll play exceptional ball. But for them to lose after being up by 24 points, it made me question Golden State. Do they really have the hearts of a champion? I get upset when I used to hear Charles Barkley talk about it, and he was saying you win by the 3 and they die by the 3. And it seems like that's what they've been doing as of late. For a team with the talent of Golden State to be 0-5 in overtime is a damn shame. And that's one of the main things I want to talk about in the basketball because I feel like we don't really hit the topic of basketball that much because right now the playoffs is so strong right now. And they're just basically stacking up and trying to, get to the division round. Now we're in the division round, and then we're so anxious to see what's going to happen once it gets to the conference championships, and we're so anxious to see who's going to be the Super Bowl teams. A lot of us picked, and a lot of people want New England and, on the Cowboys to be in there, the 2 American teams, and I really don't care who's in it, to be honest with you. I'm just a huge fan of football, and whoever it is, I just want it to be a good game. I just feel bad that we basically take so much away from basketball, but there was a lot of things that happens in basketball right now. It's really getting interesting. And right now, I look at it like I just don't feel like until February, after the All-Star game, I really take heed to it. But just wanted to mention a little bit about basketball, and I know me, Jabari, and Jay, we'll get more on that topic soon. But I feel like right now, too, I wanted to get on another topic. It was something that I seen on the internet that I was pretty interested in. Definitely me being a wrestling head. I was seeing an article saying that should Ronda Rousey go to WWE to revitalize her career? Now, I feel like after her first fight with Holly Holm, I don't feel like she should have lost her confidence as much as she did. I mean, maybe when people hype you up and tell you you are the best and then you lose, bad feeling. But at the end of the day, I feel like her going into the Amanda Nunes fight after a year off and not study her striking game or even get a better technique when it came to striking was the reason why she lost that match. But I feel like right now her going into something like WWE, that's right up her alley. I don't feel like she would have to really do too much as far as use brute force and fight or be too physical. I know it's a gruesome sport. I feel like in WWE, they do a lot more, traveling. The traveling's to the point where they travel so much that it get excruciating. But I feel like after the two gruesome fights she was in and how she got demolished in the first rounds, the Amanda Nunes fight, the Holly Holmes fight, it took a little longer for her to really take heed. But when she really started to get into Ronda, it seemed like she got rattled. I feel like right now it would be best for her to even get a career in acting. She already did some movies and stand-ups. She did Entourage. I think that that's good for her as well. But if she want to make money outside of that, I feel like wrestling is the place to go. So I would kudos that. I would give her 100% support because I just don't feel like she's ready to go back in that octagon. Hell, she shouldn't go back into the octagon. And speaking of the octagon, too, I want to get into a little bit of what happened on the Golden Globes. I really wasn't really tuning into it, but I know it was some controversy when it came to the Golden Globes because Meryl Streep took a jab at MMA fighting. Didn't know why she did it, but she basically said some pretty controversial things, and it rattled a lot of people in the MMA world. Dana White, one of them, he was like, she's a uppity rich white woman who don't know nothing about the sport, and she needs to keep her mouth shut. I was like, man, that is pretty harsh. I felt like for a person like Dana White, too, who owns UFC, this was a little disappointed that he would talk about a Meryl Streep. I mean, yeah, she's a actress. Everybody know who she is if you're definitely from the 80s. Some people may, some people might not know her. But to get into a scuffle with Meryl Streep as Dana White, I feel like that was kind of low for him. Wasn't too happy to hear him talk and say those words that he said, like she's an uppity old white lady and she don't know what she's talking about. And I'm like, Dana, look in the mirror. You're a white male. You did some seconds you talked about mixed martial arts, and she took a jab at the UFC. Really didn't care too much to hear about none of it. I feel like that Dana White is a better person than that. It's like you should be promoting better fights right now. And I love Conor McGregor. You should be trying to get somebody to get in the ring with him right now. See who's going to compete with that man. I don't really too much care about all that. That don't have nothing to do with the sport, and I feel like him concentrating on that, just letting you know how petty Dana is right now. Love the UFC. I love what he brought to the sport. I feel like he gets too involved with things, like how he was getting involved with Floyd. I feel like that was unnecessary. Let him and Conor go at it. That's the people, if they do fight, is going to make you money in so many ways. But him getting involved and instigating and putting his 2 cents in everything really doesn't matter to me because I feel like you should be the bigger man at this point, and you should have just walked away from that. I mean, come on now. It ain't like you're going to punch the movie star. You're better than that. Anyway, right now, 7:21? Okay. I got a little time. Well, right now I was looking and trying to see what was going on and see what big matchups is going to be in basketball. Pretty interesting what's going to happen before this All-Star break, but until then, I feel like if anybody have any questions or want to have any discussions or talk about anything that I was discussing right now, you can definitely hit us up and call in the show. you can call us at 760-283-4647. But I feel like right now, too.
Hey, Hugh, you hear me?
Yo, what's happening? Oh,
what's
yeah,
up,
you scared me, bro. What's good, Jay? I was listening to you there for a minute, man.
I just told Q to put me in, man. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, man, you good, man. I know you heard some of the topics I was talking about, man.
Actually, you know what? I haven't heard anything because I couldn't. My phone was about to die, so I couldn't really dial in and listen to the show while I was on my way home. But you can kind of catch me up on what you was talking about, man. We can kind of revisit it, and then we can go into the you ain't talking about the national title game yet, have you?
Yeah, I got into a little bit of it, but I really want to talk more in depth on it, though. I just basically did some rundowns on it, but I really wanted to talk to you about a lot of the games that's going to happen as far as the divisional rounds in football, and who you think will be the ones that come out on top of those divisional games. I basically talked about that and ran down the championship game, of course. But I know you're going to laugh at this one because I want to talk to you about this. I was really pissed, man. You know, as much as we talk about KD and the Splash Brothers, man, how did you feel about that game, man? I seen that game and I was so disappointed when they played Memphis. I talked about that, how them blowing the 24-point lead, how that made them look. And not only that, man, I don't know if you knew or not, Jay, they're 0-5 in overtime.
Yeah, they're on 5 combined with playing San Antonio, Memphis, and Cleveland. I think it is. They haven't won a game against those teams yet.
Not yet.
You know, I actually brushed it off when I saw them lose that lead like that. I just brushed it off pretty much. I was like, let's Golden State being Golden State. But then I had to remember, I'm like, shit, they got KD. You know what I'm saying? And I know collapses happen sometimes, but a collapse like that, though, with superstar player, like a go-to takeover player, man, that's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's an alarm for them because I'm pretty sure they'll handle their own. I just think they got to the point where they just got lackadaisical and lazy. They just got lazy as hell. They didn't want to play no D. Took Memphis for granted, thought Memphis was just going to lay down. And before they knew it, Memphis was, within about 2 points. So, I mean, shit, it happens. It shouldn't have happened to them, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's a cause to panic or anything like that. But you got to look at it.
I also talked about too, which you probably feel the same way, man, from watching playoff games. In football, man, just the lacklusterness of it, man. It was a really bad weekend, man. That Raiders and Texans game, and I talked about that, and it was just really sad, man, because without the quarterback, the main quarterback, they looked like a joke of a team, man.
Yeah. I told you last week, man, that without their first or second string, because McGloin didn't play, but I was like, without either one of those, Derek Carr or McGloin, they were going to struggle big time. You know what I'm saying? And they did, and Houston, they was at home, and Houston did their thing. You know what I'm saying? They did what they were supposed to do. And, I mean, that's that. Their defense dominated, did what they were supposed to do against a third-string quarterback. That's what you're supposed to do. And shit, I mean, it's gonna be something different, man, when they have to play New England, go to Foxborough this upcoming weekend. So Well, we'll see what they made of then. But yeah, I wanted to. Go ahead.
How did you feel about man? I've heard. I was looking on online, man. When I was coming home, man, they actually said that Bill Belichick was already going and preparing for them on Saturday.
Because Belichick knew what was up.
Yeah, definitely.
It was
Pittsburgh game,
because,
man. Let's be honest.
They said it was because Belichick knew what was up with Pittsburgh and Miami. Like, it didn't really have nothing to do with the Raiders. As far as that or whatever, he just started preparing after Houston won. He started preparing for Houston because, if Miami would have won against the Steelers, they would have went to Foxborough. But yeah, he had no faith in Miami going to Pittsburgh, and I told you they was going. I told you Pittsburgh was going to mollywop them. I told you that. I was like, they're going to mollywop them. Yeah, and I told you the Lions was going to get their asses whooped. The only thing that I was kind of off on was the Packers and Giants. I thought the Giants was actually going to win the game.
I definitely thought that, man. I mentioned that too. I definitely thought that we had them winning because, and at the same time, I looked at it too, and I said because Olivier Vernon, man, he's been playing lights out ever since he got there, man. I was surprised Miami let him walk like that. But then Janoris Jenkins as well, and you had Eli Apple, and you had those guys playing really well, man. It was a really coached team, too, man. What McAdoo, this was really surprising. It seemed like they kind of laid down, man, and that was another thing I talked about, too, man. I think Odell got a little out of hand, man. He punched the wall when they lost, and a lot of people were talking to him, and media was, kind of joking around about it and getting on the topic that the reason that they think that they wasn't really prepared or focused because, the whole trip, we know about the trip to Miami.
You know what? I actually, because I was, when the game was going on, he was dropping passes, he was struggling. The whole offense was pretty much struggling, man. And I was getting sick of people that was on Facebook, man, talking, oh, you shouldn't have went on the boat trip, and, blah, blah, this and the other. And when I first heard about it, I was listening to Undisputed, and Skip and Shannon had they had some pretty good intake on it. I thought they were talking about it. Shannon was saying he didn't really mind, them going to go party like that or whatever. You just wasn't flying from Washington to Miami. You was gonna fly back with the team home and then go ahead and go if you want to go to Florida or wherever you want to go. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was cool right there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it had anything to do with Odell's performance yesterday or how the Giants got mollywopped like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the defense, none of the defensive players went, and they got 38 hung up on them yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And it came to a point, like I was telling this guy, I said it just came down to the point where the defense, when your defense is hot, they hot. You know what I'm saying? But when they cool off, it's, you know what I'm saying, you bound for that. And that's what happened. The defense cooled off when the offense was having a rough time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, the offense had a rough time. Like weeks prior to that, the offense had already been having a rough time, but the defense been picking up the slack. So this time, the defense gonna pick the slack up, man. Aaron Rodgers is in the zone right now. He's in kind of that zone he was in some years ago when they went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So he's in that type of mode, that type of zone, and it wasn't nothing the Giants could do. They couldn't do shit with that, man. They couldn't do nothing with that.
Glad that
so that's what it is. Shit ain't had nothing to do with no damn boat party. Stop that. God.
Now that you mentioned that too, Jay, man, one team I didn't brush on, man, when I was doing some of the rundown was, yeah, man, this is going to be really a test right now for A-Rod, man. Aaron Rodgers and them playing them boys, man. I'm really interested in this matchup too, man. I didn't really talk about it yet, but it's going to be a really interesting one because when you look at it, it's like Aaron Rodgers is like lava hot right now, man. He like damn near the sun hot, like where I've definitely looked at it and I've told you, I looked at Matty Ice from what he's went through, just the struggles of the years before where we felt like he wasn't really a good game guy. Well, we knew he was a game manager, but we was putting him in that boat, like how when people look at Alex Smith, like, well, he'll win a game, but he won't go out and convincingly win a game. He won't lose the game, but he won't win the game. Like, take it.
I hear what you're saying.
And just didn't really feel like that with him at one point, man. And this year he proved me wrong because at the beginning of the year, let's be honest, they were struggling. And I said, damn, this is the same old Atlanta team. And I was hearing Dion always make comments like, man, 1 minute they'll be doing well, man, and then they, be the same Atlanta team. And I can't embrace them because I don't know what team I'm going to get out there every week. And they proved me wrong, man. Matt been playing lights out, man, and I talked about Julio and this. But when I look at it, now you look at Aaron, man, damn, against the Giants defense, the team that we said was going to neutralize them. He threw for 362 damn yards and 4 touchdowns. I said, damn,
4 touchdowns,
how many touchdowns he had in the last few games, man? I think in
19.
the last,
19.
Jesus.
19 touchdowns, no interception.
He's been averaging 4 touchdowns.
You see his QBR? Bro. You see his QBR? His QBR is 121 right now over that 7-game stretch.
I am frightened for Cowboys right now, man. Their defense is not bad. Don't get me wrong. There's no name defense. You got Sean Lee. That's the only person I really know, besides Flowers, man. And Claiborne, Claiborne's kind of a bust right now. Let's be honest. I thought Claiborne coming out of LSU was going to be that guy, and he hasn't really did nothing. Definitely didn't live up to his expectations. But as a whole, we don't really know those guys. We're not really familiar with those guys, let's be honest, Jay. I don't know half of them guys on the defense. Right. They've been playing, they've been doing their job, man. The Dak Prescott, as him coming over right now and playing as a rookie, I call him the Dak Ezekiel Express, man. Them two together, the combination, man, it's revitalized the Cowboys, man, revitalized the American team, and they are going to be in the playoffs, man, divisional round. They've never seen this before. They've never been in this environment. I just don't think that and I'm a little afraid of Aaron right now, man. But I look at it too, man, like this is the test. I'm afraid of Aaron right now, man, and what he has, man. Yeah. I definitely look at it right now and still feel like, man, and I'm going with Rodgers now on this one, man. I would have picked the Cowboys maybe 2-3 weeks ago, but no, I'm going with Aaron, man. I don't think you can't go wrong with Aaron, man.
No, you can't. Not right now. Not at this juncture. Aaron Rodgers is just on something else right now, and I really think that by him being in the zone, man, I don't think it's a defense out there that can really tame him. You know what I'm saying?
You see what the Cowboys did when it came to playing the Giants, man. Aaron made a fool out of them guys last night, man.
Yeah. So, Jabari, is he on? I don't think he's on yet. Hugh, if you can hear me, put Jabari in. He said he called.
Yeah.
What up, though?
What up, though?
Yeah, man. We talking about the wild card weekend. We was talking about the hot streak Aaron Rodgers is on right now.
Oh, okay.
You got any input on that?
Oh yeah, they're gonna lose to Dallas. I should have known they was gonna be short sweep with this clown. They're gonna lose to Dallas.
I mean, I don't think Dallas defense is strong enough, man. I really don't. They're gonna have to play ball control. Now, yeah. I mean, we was talking about that. The time of possession will come into play, man. But if the only thing that'll take that away is Aaron Rodgers starts scoring real fast. Like if he scored fast, they're gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, the Cowboys gonna kinda have to match. They can't have no 3 and outs, nothing like that.
No, I mean, not really. I mean, because Dallas' whole thing is we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna run this down your throat. And it's successful. I don't think Green Bay's defense is good enough to handle that offensive line. I think Dallas gonna hold the time of possession. If they keep Aaron Rodgers off the field and don't let Aaron Rodgers get hot, then Aaron Rodgers will be ineffective. The Giants last week, they turnovers. They couldn't keep a drive going. They couldn't keep a drive going. So Aaron Rodgers was able to get hot. I actually think Dallas' run game is gonna hold them in check, hold them off the check. Aaron Rodgers not gonna be on the field enough to even get hot. You think they're gonna be neutralized from that? Yes.
I don't know. I think the Packers are gonna win this game, and I think it's all gonna come down to the fact that you know Dallas defense been kind of suspect all year, and with just the hot streak Aaron Rodgers on, man, you're gonna have to create turnovers with him, and he on point right now. Like I don't think Dallas got enough, man. I really don't. They're gonna neutralize that run game. They're gonna make Dak try to beat them through the air, and I'm telling you, watch.
You said he pulling for Dallas. No, I mean, and it's not like Dallas can't throw the ball. If you want to bring them safeties up to the box, I'm pretty sure Dak will make you pay for that. That's what I'm saying. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not just all ball control. It's just total offense. It's unstoppable. So it's basically like pick your poison. I mean, their defense not that good, but their offense put them in a position where it's not exposed.
Right. Hey man, we got Dwayne joining us, man. What's up, Dwayne?
What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man.
Hey man, what's your analysis, man? Jabari saying that Dallas gonna put an end to Aaron Rodgers' streak, man. How you feel?
Honestly, I hate Green Bay. I don't see them losing. I think it's too many veterans on that team. They've been there. The best players on Dallas, they rookies. They never been in this spotlight before. I don't care how good he's been doing. I just don't see it. Aaron Rodgers right now is hot. And last time he got this hot, they won the Super Bowl.
They won the Super Bowl.
I don't like Green Bay. I don't see anybody beating them right now. They too hot. You got Christian Michael running like he was running in Seattle. He got something to prove. They got one of the best offensive play callers in the league. I mean, the way they get their players in the position is something I wish Detroit Lions would do. But they get everybody in the position to get the ball in the best place possible. I mean, you lose Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb getting healthy. It's like somebody just steps up for him. It's just my personal opinion. Dallas defense is not good enough to stop Aaron Rodgers, but Green Bay defense is good enough to at least slow Dallas down.
No, guys. No, guys.
It's just my opinion. I see it. They just hot. Aaron Rodgers already we know is probably the best quarterback in the league, period, just overall. You know, taking nothing away from Brady in New England, but just overall pure talent, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. And the way he's playing right now, he's in the zone. complete zone, and his teammates, they ready. Dallas, I think they just too young. They still a year away. I would say next year maybe, but right now they still a year away. They not ready for this spotlight. This is a big spotlight put on them. Jerry Jones already in there yelling at them, putting pressure on them. It's just I don't think they're ready right now. I just don't.
Right. Yeah, man. I don't think Dallas gonna have enough to overcome Aaron Rodgers. Man, he's just way too hot. But I mean, we got our pick. Hugh, who was you going with this weekend with that game?
I'm going with Green Bay.
You got Green Bay too? All right, so we got 3 Green Bays and 1 Dallas. So always Jabari, man. Always Jabari. Oh.
I ain't mad at him though, because he brought up some positive points. I definitely ain't mad at him.
Yeah, he brought up some damn good points, man. That time possession is key. If Dallas can control the ball and keep Aaron Rodgers off the field, then they can win the game, and they are capable of doing that.
Can do that.
I just don't see it happening.
Can do that.
I just don't see it happening. But I wanted to talk about the other game, man. The other NFC divisional game, Atlanta and Seattle. I know we might not spend too much time on this, whatever. But Atlanta and Seattle. Jabari, what's your thoughts on this game, man?
High-powered offense versus high-powered defense. I really think this is what I think. I think Atlanta has the offense to make a run, but their defense is a big liability. And I think Seattle's defense neutralizes that Atlanta offense. And I think Seattle's offense is good enough, is going to score on Atlanta's defense. So I'm taking Seattle to win this game. By 10? Yeah, Seattle by 10.
Oh man, Dwayne, who you got, man? What's your thoughts on this game?
My thoughts on the game is I take Atlanta, and I picked Atlanta just because Coleman is back healthy. He is the biggest X factor on that team. Period. Julio Jones is great. We know what he can do. We know what the tight ends can do. We know what Freeman can do. Seattle, their biggest problem is the middle of the field, and that's where Coleman attacks everybody with his catching ability. He's one of the best receivers out of the backfield, so they're going to kill that zone. I don't see Seattle stopping them. Atlanta is going to score a lot of points. And the way I look at it, to be honest, they barely beat Detroit. We beat ourselves. We got stupid. We did a lot of dumb mistakes. We missed a lot of wide open passes and throws. We had a quarterback playing with half a hand, and they barely beat us. Atlanta scores way more than we do. I believe Atlanta's gonna win because of the Coleman factor.
Jabari, I want my goddamn lunch.
So I know.
I told you the Lions were gonna get their ass whooped Saturday.
It wasn't supposed to be like that. I don't know what happened to them.
They beat themselves.
It was a game.
Seattle didn't beat us. Seattle didn't beat us.
That damn curse beat the Lions. That's what beat us.
Can the Lions get some rough love sometimes? Though, keep
quiet. Yeah.
Dude, when they called that ball, they said that ball was uncatchable. Man, stop. Stop. That was the worst call ever.
It was like 2 yards in front of them. They said it was uncatchable. Like, anything's uncatchable, you get held.
Hugh, man, who you got this weekend, man?
Man, I was talking about that earlier, too, man. The Julio Jones show, man. I really think that he's going to act a fool in that game. But then I didn't even think about Coleman, though, when he was there, man. You know, he's a heck of a receiving back, man. And then Freeman going to be Freeman, man. I think they have too much of an arsenal, man. I just don't think Matty Ice going to ball this game. I really think he's going to show what he about, man. And basically still have people looking at him like he's an MVP caliber player, man. I definitely got Atlanta all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Falcons too, and once again, Jabari the man out. I'm gonna go with Atlanta too, man. Just for the simple fact of why Detroit should have beat Seattle as well. Seattle was hampered. Atlanta's at home. They had some rest. Like Dwayne said, Coleman's coming back. He's fully healthy. I think Julio Jones gonna have a big game too. Yeah, him and Coleman gonna be the X factors in this game. And I got Atlanta by probably about 10 points. 10 points in this game. I think they're gonna kind of they're gonna establish their dominance kind of early on Seattle and let Seattle know they ain't playing with them. So yeah, I don't think Seattle gonna have enough, man. I really don't. I don't think so. Let's switch gears right quick because I want to talk about the national title game in a minute. But we're gonna switch conferences and talk about the AFC divisional playoffs. Let's talk about Pittsburgh going to Kansas City, man. Dwayne, who you taking in that?
Pittsburgh, Kansas City. I'm going with Pittsburgh. I got to. Kansas City got good defense, but I got to go with Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell and Ben, they finally got to play a playoff game together in 4 or 5 years. They look completely unstoppable. It was amazing watching them go up and down the field on Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to score more points.
Yeah, I'm just going with Pittsburgh just because I don't see Kansas City keeping up with them points wise.
Pittsburgh. Hugh, who you taking?
I also picked Pittsburgh, man. On the 3 Bs, man. Once they click it, man, I just don't see it, man. Kansas City's a solid team, man. Definitely when it comes to defense, they got the answers, man, for everything you could put out there for them. As far as their good run attack team, when you're trying to run the ball, they can stuff you, man. They got a hell of a front, and they got some hell of a cornerbacks, man. You just don't see Ben, Bell, and Brown losing when they're healthy, man. I definitely look at that like that's going to be the it factor, man, for that game.
Mm-hmm. Jabari, who you going with, Jabari?
He picking Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm taking Kansas City, man. That ain't showing me nothing against the Miami Dolphins. Are you serious? They played the Miami Dolphins. And it was 14 degrees outside. Them boys was fighting 80-degree weather all week. They got to that cold and said, take us back to Miami. Man, listen, they want to go to Kansas City. Kansas City defense is the truth. And they got one thing that they didn't have last year in their playoffs. Justin Houston. Dude, listen here. Mm-hmm. And Rodgers got a threat that he ain't got to go downfield with in Tariq Hill. Sorry, dude. Kansas City winning that one. New England, Kansas City in the conference championship.
This game is a big toss-up to me. And I remember, Jabari, you and I was talking about Kansas City last week. And you kind of put some stuff in my head. I was like, I'm like, Kansas City might, you might see Kansas City in the AFC Championship game, but I just can't see Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell being stopped by Kansas City. I just can't see it. It's too potent, dog. It's just too potent to me. That matchup is too potent. And, Big Ben show up in the playoffs. And to me, Kansas City, they choke a lot, man. They choke a whole lot in the playoffs. So I don't see it, man. I don't think Kansas City going to have enough. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Game Manager ain't going to be able to do enough in this game, man. So, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Man, y'all better go look at Big Ben road record this year before y'all start taking Pittsburgh.
This is the playoff, sir. This is the
I don't care
playoff.
what it is, dude. Go look how he play on the road. Dude, Tigers don't change stripes, brother.
Yes, they do. Well, in this case,
they can wear jackets.
Man, stop. Dude, Big Ben ain't been to the playoffs in 30 years. Man, stop. Okay. Good luck.
Hey, man.
I'm assuming everybody picking New England.
We already know Boston.
Yeah, everybody got New England. We don't even need to talk about that. We'll talk about the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl when it comes to New England. They're not about to lose to no goddamn Houston.
That's over.
Yeah. Not the champion. Yeah. Last topic, man. We got 6 minutes. Give your analysis kind of quick. You know, I want to go ahead and wrap up, man, so we can go ahead and watch the national title game. But national title game, 8:00, Clemson, Alabama rematch. Jabari, who you rolling with and why?
Roll Tide. That's the best defense I've ever seen in my life. That's all I got to say.
Dwayne.
I got to go with Alabama because of what Jabari said. I don't think the Lions could score on Alabama defense. Right? That's not even being funny. I'm so serious. That defense is the fastest, biggest 11 guys I've ever seen on one field at the same time ever.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. It's ridiculous. I mean, their safeties, their defensive tackles are fast.
And see how you put them next to, and they better than all them old school Miami teams. When you say that, with teams of Air Reed and all the stuff they had, dude, this is the best defense I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Hugh, who you rolling with in this game?
You know, I'm a huge Bama fan, man, but my problem right now with choosing Bama is the fact that, man, I'm just afraid because of Jalen Hurts, man. I think that when it comes to a big game, man, I don't know if he'll be able to handle it, man, because I was a little disappointed with the Washington game. I felt like he could have did more, man, but it was the defense that saved them, man, and I definitely feel like Clemson wants that revenge factor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Clemson.
Which one is that? You know, with this game, man, I agree with Jabari and Dwayne 100%, man. That Bama defense is kick-ass defense. They're probably the best college defense I've ever seen. So fast, man, to the ball, hit hard as hell. They rarely miss an assignment. They just out of sight, you know. And Clemson just seems determined to me. You know what I'm saying? They seem determined. And the same thing too, Hugh. Jalen Hurts, man, I don't see him, you know what I'm saying, like leading them tonight, man, because that's a veteran defense over there with Clemson. They're not as good as Bama, but they play their hearts off for Dabo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have to go with Clemson too, man. So I guess the panel is split on that, man. So, yeah, man, this is the last game of the college football season. I think it's going to be a good one. What's your predictions, Dwayne? You think it's going to be a close game, or is it going to be Bama going to blow them out, or what? Dwayne, you there? Did we lose him? We might have lost him.
Probably. I think so.
Yeah, I see his number still up here, but I know we lost Jabari. Did we lose Jabari? Jabari, you here, ain't you?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we lost Dwayne. That was Dwayne we lost. Jabari, you think the game gonna be close or no?
Whoever wins gonna win by 17 plus.
17 plus. I can actually see that. I can actually see something like a rhythm. Hugh, what you think? Close game or blowout? What?
I think it's going to be a close game. But win or lose, man, whoever – well, basically, I feel like I wouldn't be – like with Jabari, you know what I'm saying? Jabari and Dwayne made some hella facts, man. They put up some, like, valid points. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bama win, man. You know, but at the same time, I just feel like I'm just like you said. I'm afraid of Jalen Hurts, man. And plus, there's been too much crap going on in Alabama right now with the whole Nick Saban beefing with Lane Kiffin and you know all that crap, man. I don't believe that'll play anything in it, but I just feel like Jalen Hurts, man. I just don't think he got what it takes. I don't really know.
Yeah. I actually think it's going to be a close game, too. I think it's going to be a little bit close. I think it's going to be about 7 points, 7 to 10 points. So, yeah, man, that's what I think. But, yeah, man, last game, college football season. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. We'll have a lot more topics next week. We'll be talking about the new college football national champ next week on the show. Of course, we'll be previewing what happened in the divisional playoff games, and then, talking about what happened in the divisional playoff games and previewing the conference championships and giving our Super Bowl predictions. So, on behalf of myself, Hugh, Dwayne,
yes, sir,
and Jabari, we'll holler at y'all next week, man. Y'all be safe.